Come on. Welcome back to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Anime Review, episode number 46. Yep. This one I'm reviewing the final episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, which is the 39th episode of it, and the 152nd episode of the anime, Sleeping Slaves. Yep. This is the end. This particular episode adapts the last 3 chapters of this particular story. Picks up right where the last episode left off, where Mista is at the sculptor's apartment. He talks to him for a chunk of the episode about Destiny and about Barachi's death. So he talks to him for good like half of the episode. And then, well, it's all about destroying this stone. Basically, it's automatic stone. It's like this. He didn't even know the thing was even a stand at all. And surprisingly, the guy himself has never seen anything after this. As a matter of fact, this case is just something that just happened to happen just prior to Baraki meeting up with Gorno. And basically, thanks to, well, Mista, thanks to his involvement and him, along with Fargo and Barachi, the stone itself was destroyed. That was going to foresee Barachi's death, but not at this point. But it did predict deaths of the other 2 characters who died in this story along with him, and that's Narchina and Abakido. Lami Abachido. And Narusha. Yeah, their deaths are basically foreseen in here. The sculptor himself has never seen anything after this, and we cut back to present day, where Gorno has decided to keep the arrow, and, well, basically Mista sees the rock again, first time since the flashback, and I don't think that much time has passed by since the start of this story to the end of it. If I would take a guess at how much time has passed by, my guess, probably about a week. Yes, that's probably how long this thing took place. Over the course of a week. The last one took place over the course of about a month. This one feels like about a whole week, basically. Maybe 2 weeks at most. Basically, we're taking Trish, and Trish sees the rock, trips over it, and then she just disappears. And, well, it's revealed about what happens next. Like, oh, where'd Trish go? She's right there. Oh, inside a turtle. Yep, fall into the turtle stand, Mr. President, and it's revealed that Ponriff's soul is still there, and he's decided to stay there a little longer. He cleaned out the room, and basically he cannot leave the room, despite the fact he basically peeked his head out, but he cannot physically leave the room because his body's dead. And, well, they decided to keep it inside the stand itself, basically in this little room. That's basically where he's going to keep the arrow. And then, of course, we have the credits. And then we have the last, like, 55 seconds of the episode is this. We have Mista in a completely new outfit, with different colors, by the way, just opens up well, basically, first we see, like, a door. It's like, basically, we're seeing the opening titles. This has been teasing this for, like, the last, like, 12, 13 episodes. We see some mafioso guys kissing Gorno's hand. And of course, he's got a new outfit as well. And we see that turtle is there, along with 2 flowers, a zipper, and a wine. Yeah, that's a nod to simply the characters who had just died. The friends just died. As for Trish's, they don't say in here where she is. She's not even seen in this last bit. But if you want to know what happened to her, she became a pop singer. Yep, Trish, a woman who's got a stand named Spice Girl, a stand that very rarely appeared, and she became a Spice Girl. Now, final thoughts on this particular arc. Basically, this whole season as a whole. This season started just late last year, basically in October of last year. This went on for, as of this month, because it started in October of last year, this went on for at least for 7 months. Yes, 7 months within the season. The season is fantastic. Though it did have a couple breaks because of clip shows. Why not? I didn't watch clip shows because I wasn't really interested. Basically, just recapping stuff we've already seen. Though I do criticize the season for delaying these episodes, delaying this one and the previous one by about 3 weeks. Because here's kind of, I have the thing up on here if I can get to it. Yeah, the last episode that aired almost a month ago. Yeah. Now, I was so excited. Now, I heard rumors. When this season was first announced, I heard rumors about this for about 2 years. For over a year, I heard rumors about this particular season because 4 parts of this 8-part manga for JoJo have just been adapted so far, and they adapted this. Now, this season is something different from the previous seasons when I saw. A lot of the time, they didn't adapt like a lot of chapters per episode. Yeah, because if you look, let's say, part 1, a lot of it was simply like adapting at least 5 to 7 chapters per episode. Yeah, but this one adapted at times like roughly 3 or even 4 chapters, sometimes even half a chapter. Yeah, here's the thing: the last known episode to air prior to these 2 episodes airing was back on July 5th. Yes. That was exactly a little bit 3 weeks ago. That was basically when the last episode aired for the series. As for why the 3-week delay, I have no idea. I initially thought that they would air. Well, I initially heard from an article I read that after they finished airing the final episode, they were going to air an hour-long special. But for some reason, I'm not sure if the hour-long special is even going to come out. I heard it was going to air like right after the final episode of the season, but I haven't seen it so far yet. One of my biggest positives for the season is the return of Ponarev for the first time since Star Wars Crusaders. He was one guy I was hinting at that he was going to make his return for Star Wars Crusaders because I didn't want to spoil it. Yes, because I had referenced in the first episode when I was viewing this particular season that there was somebody from Part 3 going to return aside from JoJo Kujo, who was also from Star Wars Crusaders. Yes. Aside from him, there was one other character that was going to show up in here. I was not going to spoil that at all. I kept that a secret the whole time. I knew who was going to show up this season, so I kept this secret until he made his debut appearance. I waited patiently for his debut appearance. And he came toward the end of the season, which is kind of how he did in the manga as well. My only gripe against this particular season is that it has something. It's uniquely different from the previous seasons. For one thing, half the time, the main character gets almost nothing to do. Like, he usually gets affected by some disease of the week, or, like, he's being held captive. And most of the time, it's the supporting cast who basically have to bail him out. Yes. But if you look at it, basically, this is one season that actually had developed every single member of the supporting cast and explored pretty much all their backstories. Yes. And plus, for supporting characters, this one had a little bit more than the last one did. Yeah, aside from Hisuke Itsugaiwa, aside from him, you have his best friend, one other guy, who looks like a similar parents to Knuckle from Hunter x Hunter, and Kurabara from Yu Hakusho. You had him. You had his mother, his grandfather, and that's it. You had these 5 people. The only characters aside from the main character who got any development was the best friend, because he was by far the only other character who got an actual physical development of the course of the thing. They did have an alien there, but he got very little development of the course of the whole thing. This is the first one where they develop every single character. All their backstories are explored, and all the characters have satisfying deaths, and they get developed over the course of this entire season. Which is actually quite surprising, because if you look at Part 1, do you know how many characters overall who are basically regulars the whole thing? There's only about 4. You have, well actually 5. You have Jonathan Joestar, you have his father, you have Dio, you have Speedwagon, and you have Baron Zeppeli, and of course his love interest. Roughly about 6 people, but only about 4 of them got a character development. Yeah, plus Elena, who was Jonathan's love interest, and later wife and the mother of his child. These characters, I mean, only about, with the exception of the main character and the villain, like at least the villain actually appeared a good chunk of the season. One thing this one has a fault with it that it carried over from the previous season is that the main villain of the whole season didn't really appear very much. If you look at, let's say, part 4, the main villain didn't show up till like halfway through, and it's kind of the same thing with this one. The main villain didn't show up like halfway through. And I've also heard rumors about Stone Ocean being adapted. Me personally, I don't mind if that one's adapted, because that's the last one of the main timeline, because starting part 7, we have a reboot for the series. Who knows, they might actually do that. But in the case of the next part for Stone Ocean, this one is not as long as basically part 6. Yeah, the thing with this one, Steel Ocean, this one is roughly like, I think it's like 100 and... Let's see. I recently got this done. Yes. This was exactly... It was 100 something. It was 158 chapters. That is how long this particular part was. And if you look, let's say, how for JoJo's Adventure manga releases now, they're already up to part 4 already. And they just released the first book. I haven't read it, of course. I've only read the chapters online, but I'm hoping part 6 is adapted in the future. Would I think probably adapted for the same amount of episodes this one will? This one did? Yes, I do believe so. Probably take about 40 episodes just to adapt the 158 chapters that has. Yeah, probably. But it all depends upon David Productions. And I've also heard a rumor, and this was a rumor survey recently, that Purple Haze, the light novel that's set right after this, maybe possibly be adapted too. I don't know. I was kind of hoping also to see before the season started, because, well, we're probably going to get another one of those one-shots, OVAs, adapting the one-shots featuring the manga artist from part 4. I wouldn't mind seeing it. No, I wouldn't. I mean, they've already adapted 2 already. I think, what was the guy's name? Rohan. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing another OVA. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't one. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing they do, in fact, do between both this season and the previous season. Like, before the season started, they already adapted 2 of the one-shots. I wouldn't be surprised if they adapted another one. I wouldn't mind at all. I would also like to see an adaptation of light novels, because the only series I can think of that did adapt, like, an entire light novel for the series, I know Naruto Shippuden did this, and I know Black Clover did this. I wouldn't be surprised if JoJo Bizarre Adventures did this as well. I personally mind at all. Aside from Purple Haze, the only one I would like to see is Fourth Day, which is one that's set after the events of Part 4. I like to see that one adapted too. And for the Rohan one-shots, I like to see all of them adapted. Only about 2 of them adapted so far. And if you want, like, how many of them there are for this series, like how many one-shots have there been? Now, the one-shots publishing since 1997. Like, they have published 8 one-shots for this in 21 years. Yes, only 8. Yeah, and the last one came out just last year. And that was the first one over a year, because if you look at it, the first one came out in 1987. The next one to come out until 11 years later. I've read them, and they're actually not that bad. But it all depends upon the writer himself when he releases another one. But as for the studio who makes the series, I like to see the one where he goes to Italy. That might be interesting. Maybe they can throw in Gorno in there as a cameo, or maybe he'll run into him some point in there. It's possible. Okay? So that's it for this particular review. Next one definitely is Blue Exorcist. Okay? This one wasn't pre-planned, just finally got uploaded, so I figured I would watch and then review it. Okay? But this next review. Bye.